So, hi guys, so we're going to go with a short workout today for the legs. First things first though, we need to warm up around the hips and the target areas that we're going to be working today. So we're just going to make sure we've got our good neutral standing position. Just make sure the feet with the big toe is connected to the heel. Okay, pelvis is working into that centre, that neutral position. Ribs are anchored and the shoulders are drawing up, pinching to spine and down through the body, nice and relaxed. Chin is parallel to the floor. We're just going to start to work with the upper body just to get a little bit of movement through the spine. So we'll just start off with the arms coming up and out to the side. I'm just going to rotate, breathe in through the nose, exhale, just rotate. Keep the hips nice and centered. Watch the leaning and round to the other side. Just going to work a nice rotation through the middle of the body. Exhale as you rotate, drawing in with the belly button to keep hold of our core. We all know what our core is. Just working through belly button into spine, lifting through pelvic floor. Okay, wrapping the spine, squeezing the bum into the glutes there. Keeping ourselves stable without any rocking and leaning. We're doing our best to stay centered through the feet, the big toe to the heel. Nice rotation. We'll do one more each side. You're roughly looking for around about 6 or 8. Keeping the hips nice and centered. Then we're back in. Here, coming back down. Roll out through the shoulders. I'm going to get into the hips nice and early on. So we're just going to work a movement I call T-step. So we're going to bring the right foot round into the hips, shoulders forward, and then back in. Same side, we're going to work that T, that right foot into a nice capital T line, hips forward, spine nice and tall, and working round. Okay, into a T-step. Try and keep that foot centered there. Soften the knee if you need to, try not to lock out too much. Okay, good there, into the hip. Livening up the hips before we get into some deep work through the hips, glutes and the legs. Once you've done around about 8 or 10, we're going to work the opposite side. Okay, really getting into the hips, getting nice and tall through spine. Back in, opposite side. Here, working into the hips. So make sure we're nice and even through the foot, don't roll out on the ankle, and shoulders are facing forward. Exhale, flow into the T-step, and then back round. Nice movement into the hips, working into the glutes as well. Good, nice and steady with that livening up of the hip movement there. Now we're going to start to work combining movement. T-step on the opposite side, come round, open the body and tap, back into T-step. We open, and then we're back into T-step. We work a nice open position, try and open the body, and back into T-step, open tap. So we're working and livening up spine as well as body, into the hip there. We're going to again arrange for about 8 or 10 on that leg first, here. And then when we're done, we come back in, T-step on the opposite side, and then open the body. In, exhale, open. A few exercises I do often bring in to some of my classes to help open up through the hips. Find your own range though. Make sure you're nice and steady. You've got good control in the body and the hip movement. Okay, nice and steady, livening up the hips. Okay, good. Once we're there, 8 or 10 again, back in, and just widen the feet slightly. Just a nice little plant on the feet, and we're just going to start to work a nice soft position through the squat position. Okay, so we're just going to lower as we breathe in, keeping the ribs down, good pelvic position. Exhale, lift through pelvic floor, squeeze the glutes, push through big toe to heel as you extend into the hip. Nice and steady as you come down, and then push through up into a nice position. Come back down, push through. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, push, get the big toe and the heel connecting. Shoulders are lowering down to the ankles as you bend both knees towards the second toe. Nice and steady. Good. and then back in and down. Good. Now, next position, we come back up and out to the side, back down, opposite side. More movement. Watch the shifting through the body. Work back down into that hip line again with the foot there. Head tall, back down and then up. Nice lift into the hip, into the glutes, to the bum there, working hard, keeping ribs down. Work through each side. Alternate. You're going to work into about a good 10 or 12 into these. Okay, on each side. Keeping it going. You're going to feel the burn into the glutes there. In. Good. One more each side. I'm just going to bring you forward with this exercise here. Go to what feels good. And then we're going to come out. One more there. Then you're back up. Squeeze. So you're working back into the glutes. Squeezing in, pelvis forward. Remember to breathe. You're going to have the heart rate pumping a little bit more here. Down, squeeze. Back down, squeeze. Watch the rotation. In hip, get the chest in position. Pull in. Work the breath. As long as we're breathing, guys, not holding breath. We're keeping good position here. One more each side. And then we're back in. One more. And back in. Center yourself once more. Nice step forward. Step. Nice low lunge. Come through here, back in. Opposite side. So we're walking. More functional movement through the movement here. Back in. Trying to stamp the foot down. Keep a nice line through the body. Working for about 10 on each side again. We might speed things up, might just go through it a little bit. Okay, but make sure you have control before you lower in through the knees. Press back up. Keep drawing in. One more each side. Back in. Widen the feet, turn out through the hips. Plie squat position. Just coming down, out wide. Okay, so we work the knees in line with the second toes. So we lower, we can bring the arms out. There and squeeze back in. Into the hips, as low as you can. Breathe in as you lower. Slowing things down. Pelvis is in a good position. Watch the lean. Now hold low. Rotate to one side. Rotate to the other. Keep pelvis in. And press through. We're going to aim for 8 of these. Lower. Rotate on the out breath. Inhale in. Exhale. And here, 2. You should be feeling the burn by now. But control it, breathe. Focus on how you're performing the movement, where you're holding. If you need to pause, pause. Allow yourself to take a breath, come back down. Look at control the pelvic position where the rib is. Okay, work there. Watch the knees trying to buckle in. Up. See if you can see these 8 through, guys. It's a toughie. Good fun. Working in. I'm going to squeeze one more out there. Make sure you see the 8 through, nice and steady. Don't go too quick. Rest where you need to. Take a moment, breathe in and exhale. Reset the shoulders. Back into position. We breathe in, we lower. Okay, we lift one heel, back down. The opposite heel, back down and back up. Take a breath, back down, breathe in. Exhale. Inhale down, exhale. And back up. You're going to feel that work and get hips forward, pelvic position. Breathe in. Lift through pelvic floor. Squeeze hips. Breathe in. Here. Here. And back up. Into hips. Breathe in again. One more. We're looking for about 6 or 8 of these. Make sure we do both sides, and then we're going to come back down and lift the heels. Back down, up. Come back down, lift the heels, both of them this time. Back down, then back up. Into the hips, squeeze through pelvic floor. Heels down, push through, squeeze. Back down, squeeze. Good movement, keep pelvis in, lower, one more, lift, back down, push through, squeeze, and back in to center. Now we're just going to have a little stretch out in through the hips there, take a step forward, you can lower the knee, you can bring the hand down a little bit here if you wish, get tall, just start to breathe in, get the lungs filling again, make sure the ribs are nice and anchored, pelvis in, foot on the floor, and just get nice and tall through the spine. Feel the stretch through the hip flexor and the thigh. And then we can just come over, side bend towards that bent knee. Hold there for about 3 or 4 breaths. Ease off. And repeat. Come back over. Good, breathe. Make sure you're in. Watch the knee trying to buckle around. Keep it stable. Back in. Ease off. One more. Ease off now. Down here, change to the opposite side. Pelvis in. Same process, nice and tall. Arm up, side bend. Okay. Hold, keep the pelvis in, keep balanced, and back in. Over. Hold for 3 or 4 breaths. Ease off 3 times. Good. And then back in. Have a nice little rest. Arms long, child's pose position. Stretch out through the back. And that there, just a nice little leg blast. Just working in around the legs, the glutes and the hips. Hopefully you enjoyed. Just make sure you work on working the numbers and seeing through different sets. You can do 6, 8 and 10 in each one. See how you get on.